Hello, today we are going to be looking at the Singapore Armed Forces 24 hours fuel rations, specifically the Halal Spicy Menu 2. This main pack contains a Japanese curry noodle with chicken, spicy fried rice, once again chicken, and finally for your dessert, a red kidney bean in soy milk. For the purposes of this video, only the main entrees shall be discussed, as the accessory pack contains items that can be bought off the shelf at any major supermarket in Singapore. According to the eBay listing I procured this from, each main pack contains approximately 3,350 kilocalories. Let's take a look inside. As you can see, this pack is simply put together with your 3 retort pouches and your instructional leaflet. This series comes in 6 flavors. I am sure they are all equally tantalizing. They recommend a few ways to reheat the pouches for consumption. You could pour over the contents of the pouch into a tin and heat it up. You can boil the entire pouch. You could boil the entire pouch, or you could leave it under the hot sun or in the hot engine compartment. Alternatively, you could eat it cold. In this case, I shall place the pouches directly in boiling water. I shall sample them one by one, starting with this entree, spicy fried rice, bracket, chicken. And here it is, out of the retort pouch. So I have here with me some Tabasco sauce, pepper and salt, just in case. First impressions, it smells and it looks like cat food. The texture is a bit glutinous. Thankfully, the chicken is still in pieces. Let's have a taste. It's savory. I don't think it needs salt or pepper or Tabasco sauce, in fact. Slightly spicy. The rice is definitely glutinous, or at least it feels glutinous. It's quite dry to the mouth though, so you will need to drink a lot of water with this, which I imagine is not great if you're out in the field. It's alright, it's definitely edible, it's definitely palatable. I detect some sort of beans in there. They seem to add a bit of crunch into it. Feels like braised peanuts. Here's a closer up look at the texture. I have here with me some Bonito Flakes. They might taste well with this. Let's try it out. That's better. The flakes seem to bring out some of the savouriness in the rice, which makes things seem to taste a bit better. It does have a hint of taste of processed food, like shelf-stable canned sardines. And this wraps up today's spicy chicken fried rice. In a couple of hours, I'll be back with the next entree. And fast forward to the next entree, we have here the Japanese curry noodles, chicken. So first impressions of these noodles is it still has that slightly stale canned food smell. However, the smell of the curry is aromatic. It kind of increases your level of appetite even more. Once again, it looks and feels quite goopy. The noodles feel like they have been absorbing water for a very long time. So let's go ahead and do a taste test. There is a strong, almost overpowering smell of and taste of carrots. The noodles taste overprocessed, even more processed than they are originally. If you were to buy these noodles from a hawker store. Just a bit of a background. Yellow noodles are really processed They taste quite artificial on their own already when fresh, and this is that artificial taste times 10. Once again, it's savory enough and it's tasty enough that you would not need your extra condiments like salt, pepper or Tabasco. Don't get me wrong, the taste is definitely edible. It's good enough to eat. As far as retop pouch food goes, this is quite good actually. But definitely comparing to your average hawker fare in Singapore, I would take the latter anytime. It's great enough to eat on its own, but I would imagine it might taste better with a hard-boiled egg, if you can get one of those around you. In fact, let's get a hard-boiled egg here. And I am back with a boiled egg. Now I realize that if you are eating something like a retop pouch, you may not have access to an egg, for instance. But this is just in case you do have access to an egg, to test the working theory and see if it does enhance the flavor of the noodles. And yes, it does enhance the flavor of the noodles. Brings out even more flavor, more of the savoriness of the curry noodles. The curry specifically. And the carrots. Let's mix some of the yolk into the noodles. Definitely reduces the processed flavor, the canned food flavor of this meal. Definitely makes it more appetizing. One thing I noticed about the chicken flakes here, it's less processed than the fried rice. The fibers of the meat are more pronounced here. Like most other Asian meals, unfortunately, these retop pouches, they don't last very long. Maybe a year plus, 2 years maximum. But they do make it up with taste. At least to me. And that concludes the second entree. Japanese curry noodles. Chicken. So we'll move on to dessert. And now what is undoubtedly the pièce de résistance. The dessert. Red bean in soy milk. First impressions, smells like red bean soup, if you ever had tried that before. It looks milky. The red beans appear to be all shredded, so it's more like drinking a soup than actually eating dessert in all of its glory. As it is seemingly the recurring theme of this ration pack, there's this slight processed smell. It's the preservative or something else, but it is there, it is present. Hopefully the taste will prevail against this evil preserved taste and smell. Unfortunately, the sweetness of this dessert seems to accentuate the smell, the preserved smell and the preserved taste I was talking about. There's this slight chemical taste. Or rather, it's more powerful than the entrees that we just sampled. The taste of soy milk is a very light one. It's not very strong. And it resembles that of preserved soy milk. The ones that are shelf stable and they last for years on the shelf of any supermarket. I mean, it tastes fine. It's just, you know it's preserved. As is the norm for red bean soup, it is very dehydrating to your mouth. You feel very thirsty after eating it, and usually the soup doesn't do much to help quench that thirst. This is no exception. Unfortunately, in situations where you may have or may need a ration pack like this, does not bode well. because you may not even be able to find water, a source of fresh, clean drinking water. Now, for the purposes of this ration, I have heated this up as usual, following the instructions. But this is the kind of dessert that is probably best sampled cold with ice. But well, I wouldn't dare to eat this cold. And there you have it. Sampling of Fuel Rations 1 man times 24 hours main pack. Menu 2 Spicy Halal. With entrees Japanese curry noodle with chicken and chicken spicy fried rice. Topped with this dessert, red kidney bean in soy milk. If you enjoyed this video and this taste test, please do remember to like, share and subscribe and become my valued patron. Links are all in description. Goodbye for now.